So Doug and I are out in Cheshire, Oregon, picking up a 1970 Plymouth Barracuda. I got the strangest call last night from this nice lady that said she had a 70 Barracuda. As she was describing this car, which you never find local cars. You car guys know it. No, there's never anything in your backyard anymore. Everything comes in from tens of thousands of miles away. But she had called and said that she had a 70 Barracuda for a long time, and she'd like to sell it. And so I had her describe it to me. And as she was describing it, somewhere in my brain, because I know all the Mopars in town, or think you do, she bought it from a guy in Veneta, had it since '87, then started to describe the interior to me. I'm thinking, man, there's no way is that any way that's that car? So after a few more minutes talking with her, I said, so did you used to live in Springfield? Because if you did, my cousin might know you. And she goes, is your cousin Doug Oldham? I said, well, we call him Cousin Dougie. Yes, that's him.
Okay, so this was so much fun. Mark gets a call from a girl named Heidi with a blue Barracuda for sale. She was engaged to a friend of mine named Todd. They've had that car for years, and so now I guess she wants to let this car go, and this is so much fun. It's like reliving the past or something, going back to see this car that I haven't seen for 25 years or so, and I'm so excited to see what this car looks like now after all these years and see some old friends again. The girl moved into Springfield, lived on G Street, and Mark and I actually drove by a couple of times and stopped and, inquired as to if she'd ever want to sell this car, and she said no, she'd never part with it. She named the car Annie, from Dreamboat Annie, the Heart album, so she's got some real sentimental attachment to this car.
Mark, her name is Annie.
Her name is Annie?
Yes. Heart, Barracuda, Dreamboat Annie.
Oh,
yes.
Very good. Those of you at home who own cars, a lot of times name your cars Betsy or Old Rusty or Blue or whatever. And I just think that's cool. That just means that thing has been not just transportation for her, but an actual family member. And it's just funny how these little cars, these little nothing cars, not just Mopar, but any car, can become a fabric in the lives of people. Anyway, we made a deal on the phone. We're just out here right now getting it loaded up. It looks it might even look a little bit better than I thought it was gonna, but it's been set in a long time, so it'll need a little bit of work to get going. But just to find a 70 Barracuda in today's world.
Intact, in one piece.
Intact and in one piece, and allegedly will run, and I believe it, the original numbers matching engine. We just unloaded it from a trailer.
So we show up to Heidi's house to pick up this car, and naturally, she's got a trailer parked in front of this car. Well, it wasn't bad enough that the trailer was in front of the car, but there was an engine on an engine stand in the trailer. Mark and I have to take this 6-cylinder engine and muscle this thing out onto a pallet so we can load it up in our van by hand. I wish we had our Doosan forklift for that.
Once we got the trailer with the engine and everything out of the way, we were able to move the rollback into position, lower the deck on it, and get ready to load this car up. I haven't even checked this car out yet. I just know that it's a good old car and that I want it, and it's in my backyard, so I'd be an idiot not to take advantage of the entire situation. All right, Dougie, let's take a look at this old bad boy.
Is she tied down?
Yeah, it might be.
Oh, just hooked.
Nope.
Oh, look at that.
Somebody painted the grill black.
Looks familiar, don't it?
It does. That's the first thing Dougie did to his Barracuda. Couldn't wait to paint the grill. Couldn't wait.
So when we show up to see the car, the thing looked great overall. And one thing that caught my attention was the grill, which originally was argent silver, just like mine. And they painted theirs flat black as well. And that made me feel a lot better about mine, which Mark has harassed me to this day about. The rear panel was painted flat black, just like mine. It looked good. Car looked good.
He wanted an AAR Cuda and his daddy wouldn't buy him one, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. So now when you're talking about a black grill for a 1970 Barracuda or Cuda, the only model that ever came with a black grill was the AAR, All-American Race Team car. It was a smooth, matte finish black, all right? Now Doug's car was a Grand Coupe, so he had the bright argent silver grill and matching tail panel on it. And I gotta admit, when he did paint those black, the car really did start to stand out and look much more ominous than it did. Although if we were to find his original car and restore it, we'd put all the argent stuff back, because now we're OE guys. Back then we were butchers. Hey, that looks all right.
White interior.
It's all there. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, Dougie's in heaven now.
I loved my car being a Grand Coupe because I had a full white leather interior. You know, it was different. Everybody else had black interior, whatever, but mine had white leather and I loved it. And this car has white interior too, and it makes it that much more appealing to me.
I'm really excited to buy this car because it's so close. We know the car, we know the history on it, we know the people, and it's a unique little car with a slant six like that, a kind of a plain hamburger sleeper car. I just think it's awesome that we're in a position that we can go out, find cars like this and buy them.
Hey, Will here with Graveyard Carz. I've known Mark almost my entire life, and he does not like to give away money. That's why he partnered with Shared Sweeps, so our fans have a chance to win $100,000. You can put that towards your Mopar dream car, or just take the cash. So get over to gycgiveaways.com today. Buy some cool new gear and automatically get entered to win. But I would definitely hurry before Mark changes his mind.
I need my money better than the hog needs slop.
I love this little car so much. I love the lettering on the fenders, although mine was a Grand Coupe and had the Grand Coupe crests on the fenders and the rear trunk lock. It just reminds me so much of my car.
New headliner and the Mopar carpets and that box there.
For some reason, it's got 72 style seats in it. I'll bet you it was a bench seat car.
You always had buckets.
This is absolutely how I got it, except for, you know, the years with like.
Was it always white interior? Yeah, this is the way you got it.
Yeah, we haven't done anything to it, but by a new headliner and the carpet that's in the box.
Doug, if it had the wood grain inserts here and I didn't have your original ones, I'd say somebody put this white interior in the car. So what I'm talking about that is on the Grand Coupe, it's supposed to be the luxury edition of the Barracuda. On the trim panels, normally in this recess, it's just the vinyl. You don't see anything. It's whatever the plastic trim panel. On a Grand Coupe, they made a really neat contoured wood grain insert, and it really does richen up that interior. How about take a load off, Annie? Take a load for free.
Yeah.
Take a load off, Annie. Wait for it. You put the load right on me.
My gosh, he's running downstairs.
It was a blue interior.
I think it's pretty interesting that this car had a blue interior and they changed it out to white. My car had white interior and naturally they had to change it out to black interior. I don't understand why people can't be happy with what they have.
Now, we talk a lot about how this little Barracuda is similar to Doug's. That's mostly because it is just a Barracuda and not a Cuda model, which you guys see a lot of on Graveyard Carz. It's got the flat hood, and so that immediately brings up that feeling of Doug's old car. But where Doug's car is considerably different than this car is on that fender tag. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole too far, but his was a very unique car that I believe in my heart was one of one. It was a 318. It was a 4-speed. FY1 lemon twist yellow, right? White leather bucket seat interior, overhead console.
Yeah, my car had a lot of options. I guess I didn't appreciate it the way I would now.
It did not have a vinyl top. That's why it's FY1 up higher. It was an AM 8-track, light group car. This thing was loaded, and it was a Y14, meaning somebody actually ordered that car. So to me, in my mind, that very likely was a one-of-one car. And the truth is, I actually know where that car is. It was a bench seat car originally.
Oh,
What?
It was a bench seat car originally.
I love it.
I think the bench seat is so intriguing to us now because all the cars we do are bucket seat console shift cars. Whether they even started life that way, that's the way we see them now at the car shows. I think they look like a bucket seat from the front and from the back. It isn't until you look down and see that they're not actually separated that you realize it's a bench seat. 9/24, October 24th is when it was born, 1969. V5X, you know what it used to have on it? Those ugly body side moldings. You know, these body side moldings, the V5X, they were really popular. I understand that the point behind them was to save door dings on the side of the car, but it's ugly. So what would you rather have, a few door dings on the side of your car or this ugly molding that looks worse than any door ding in the world? If you look at our green car, the 70 Challenger RT SE that we did a few seasons ago, it had that, had got to put it back on. It's an original numbers matching car. Tony's car had it. He didn't opt to put it back on because he took a liberty to get rid of that. You know, this little Barracuda really didn't have any options on it. It was probably the cheapest car on the lot back in the day. No vinyl top, it had a bench seat, column shift, it was a slant 6. I mean, it really was a stripper car. Somebody must have found a 72 Cuda with a white interior and took the liberty, if you will, of installing it in that car. You see what I did there with the liberty? It's a story arc. Okay, that's an arc. Saw it a lot in Seinfeld. Liberty. Yeah, I've got to ask Tony D'Agostino, the sandwich man, if those wheels are supposed to be blue like that. Now, what I'm talking about is a standard issue wheel. So if you didn't option any other wheels on this car, you would have got a wheel painted body color with a little poverty cap in the middle of it. In this case, we have a wheel that appears to be painted body color from the factory, but it has a full wheel cover on it. I think somebody found those and put it on. That's just what I wanted to confirm with Tony. I think originally it had the dog dish center cap, which I think is a really neat looking wheel. That's the original carpet in there. Somebody took apart a 72 Barracuda.
I've owned it since '87.
Yeah?
I don't know. Due to the math, I've owned it 30.
See, there's the original door armrest pad. I love it.
I do too.
Oh, man. All right, so I think we ought to load this thing up. I ought to give her some money, and we ought to get her loaded up. What do you think?
I still think it's great to be able to do, after all these years, what we did as kids. We don't see eye to eye all the time, but we get along and we enjoy working on these cars again after all these years. I think we are so lucky.
You know, I'm asked this a lot. Did I ever think that Graveyard Carz would be doing what we're doing now? And, you know, I had no idea what would happen with Graveyard Carz when I had the idea. I hoped that it would be a fun show. I never dreamed, and if somebody had said something when I was a kid, I still wouldn't have dreamed that it would be where it's at today. To be able to work on the greatest cars that I have loved and drooled over my entire life, and to be able to go out with my cousin and hang out as much as he makes me crazy, and be able to buy these cars and bring them back and offer them to somebody as their dream car. So it's definitely better than anything I could have dreamed of or hoped for. I believe it was John Lennon that said, "Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans." And for me, that's true. However, John also said that I am the Eggman, I am the Walrus, so I'm not sure what to believe. That was Tim Canterbury from The Office, BBC. So.
Hello ghouls, Mark Warman here, the Ice Tray from Graveyard Carz. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. We have fantastic stuff coming up, and some of it you've never seen before. I gotta go insult people. Hey, Alice!